DJ, what is the third trait of an entrepreneurial mindset?
Being willing to take risks and learning from mistakes to make improvements.
But when you take risks, isn't there the risk of failure?
Absolutely, yeah. Anytime you try something new, there is the risk that you will fail. But I think it's important to remember a couple things. First of all, failure is never permanent as long as you're willing to learn from that failure. And the other thing too is, if you're not willing to try new things, then there's a 0% chance that you'll ever actually do new things. So I think it's about putting failures in context, being willing to learn from mistakes, and being flexible.
And Motown, I know that you've definitely taken some risks.
Yes, I have. In the early stages of the landscaping business that I told you about, my cousin and I decided that we should bring in some friends to help us grow and expand and mow lawns in other neighborhoods and things like that. So initially, I had to question, are they going to represent us the way that we want to be represented? Are they going to be serious? Are they going to be passionate? So there was a lot of questions that my cousin and I would discuss, and we would be hesitant. But we lost some friends along the way. But we found the right people, and it ended up being a really good risk because we were able to share the profit and have fun in the process.
It's great that risk paid off.
Yes.
Have you had any risks that did not go the way that you had planned?
Yes. We kind of got greedy a little bit later on. We were doing well landscaping, and then we got ideas, which is good, but the ideas just got a little bit too extravagant. We started saying, let's wash cars, let's clean dishes, and let's clean carpets. And in the course of doing that, we lost focus. We completely lost focus, and we had to sit down and just ask ourselves, okay, why were we doing this to begin with? And we realized we just had to go back to our roots. We had to go back to our foundation. We had to go back to what brought us here, which was landscaping.
Yeah, I think the really important takeaway there is, you learned from a mistake, and probably a pretty hard mistake, right? Because here you thought you were going to take over the world, you're going to make all of this money, you probably invested in new equipment, so on and so forth. So actually being willing to pull back, after making that kind of investment, demonstrates maturity. Risk-taking is thought of as kind of recklessness, right? But an entrepreneurial mindset is not a reckless mindset. As long as you're willing to learn from your mistakes, then you actually increase your discipline along the way.
Thank you.
Think of a time in your past where you took a risk. Did it play out exactly the way that you expected it to, or were you surprised by anything that happened? Find a partner and exchange stories of the risks you've taken. Tell your partner why you decided to take the risk, whether it paid off, and what you learned from the experience.